Chelsea, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for joining me today.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, I am a huge fan of Spike and Mike. For the last 30 or 40 years, I have been such a huge fan. There's so many great moments with this festival. Usually it's the Sick and Twisted, but this is not the Sick and Twisted. This is something a little more mainstream, I would think, because the Sick and Twisted is kind of what I've been associated with Spike and Mike. So this is very exciting. So maybe can you tell us how this came about? How they put together a new festival?
Absolutely. And I would love to say, first off, just to ask your or answer your question about the Sick and Twisted, because this has actually come up a couple of times on social media and in other interviews.
Hmm.
And you'll see on the poster that you have behind you, it does say 90 minutes of the most sick and twisted animation you'll ever
Yeah, I
see.
noticed that. Yes.
Which I would love to tell you was actually a long, like one of those long sort of debates between people on the team because we have members of the team who are like you, lifelong fans of Spike and Mike, and they really, really wanted to say Sick and Twisted. So what I'll tell you is that we try to really have a little something for everyone. There is a kind of like a hard warning about 60% of the way in, where after that warning, things get really sick and really twisted. But I will say, I think the entire program definitely not for young folks. Definitely a little bit of sick and twisted sprinkled in. But yes, also some comedy, some heartwarming stuff, some, even some sad things. So we really tried to just kind of like embrace everything that Spike and Mike had to
I
offer.
was going to say Spike and Mike's 40-year history. The No Neck Joe was all my all-time favorite in college. Beavis and Butthead had their start there. Bill
That's
Plimpton,
right.
so there is
The
such a
South
great.
Park guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
South Park, of course. There's such a legacy for this. So this is a 90-minute showcase. So does it blend some classic cartoons as well as 70s and 80s too as well?
Yeah, you mentioned No Neck Joe by Craig McCracken, and you might see your old friend Joe in this program. I would say about 85% of the program, though, is brand new animation. So we opened end of 2023, beginning of 2024, when we really started to try to get this off the ground and decide what it was going to be. We opened submissions, and we got over 200 animated shorts just in that one submission window. And so my team and I have spent the past year or so painstakingly going through those and really trying to curate the best possible 90-minute show to really, revive the brand and to introduce Spike and Mike to a whole new audience.
What I love about it, it's such a 21st century presentation because in my day, they traveled the film around to different theaters and
Mhm.
put up kind of guerrilla marketing posters and everything. And now it's like it's beaming all over the country, right? It's so how can folks find tickets for this event?
Well, and we still are, we're trying to have some of that spirit. I just finished making a Scotty like cardboard pop-up sign that some kids are going to use in Boston to talk about it. We have posters up and down the West Coast. We've been reaching out to schools, especially schools with animation programs or film programs. I'm a UT Austin alumna, so I've reached out to the film program there to tell them about it. But yes, what we wanted, right, was that unlike in the past when Spike and Mike was largely a rolling road show that focused on the West Coast, I know they had, every once in a while they would go over to maybe like Boston or New York, but it was primarily a West Coast engagement. We really wanted it to be accessible for everyone, especially like I mentioned, those new animators who are up and coming, who submitted to the festival, whose content is going to be in the festival. They live all over the United States. I wanted them to be able to bring their friends and family and show them as well. So I'm so, so grateful to Regal for partnering with us so that we could get this in theaters nationwide. I believe it's in 36 states. It's in 90 cities. And so we really tried to make this something that anybody who's a fan of animation, no matter where they live, could go see conceivably. And if you want tickets, the best place to go is regmovies.com, regmovies.com. That's Regal's website to buy the tickets. If you go to our website, spikeandmikefest.com, we also have, amongst other fun things, we have, a little theater locator, a map. You can find yourself on the map, and then you can link directly to buy your tickets there as well.
Well, it was also the highlight of my career is a few years ago at Sundance. I got to interview Spike. He had his documentary out there. He was so
Mhm.
gracious, very quiet, but you could just see where the sick and twisted came from behind his
Oh,
glasses.
absolutely.
So
Yeah,
I
no,
am,
Spike, yeah,
yeah.
great friend. He's he's still really active on the Facebook page with us, and he's been going out and talking about this at Comic-Con. I know he's going to go and attend a couple screenings where he lives in Southern California, so he's very excited.
I am just as a Gen Xer who's approaching, 60, I am just so happy that this tradition is continuing and a whole new set of fans will find Spike and Mike's festival. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm excited. I'll be there, I know, on November 1st. So thanks so much and good luck with the festival. And come visit us in Las Vegas soon. We'd love to have you.
I would love to. I love Las Vegas, and I'm so happy to hear that you're going. At first we didn't have a Vegas screening, but then we went back and talked to Regal and we got it added, and I'm so happy that the folks in Las Vegas are going to get to see it with you.
Well, thanks so much for your dedication and let's talk again soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Talk later.